Good afternoon. Welcome. Greetings of respect to this day of opportunities, possibilities, miracles, and choices. Good to be here. And if you're able to view this, it means that you're here as well. So that makes it a good day for us. Looking at the news today, and I'm going to make a couple of references to the news during this particular piece. They said that in Chicago there were over 24 shootings in the over the last weekend. They said one young 16-year-old shot his victim 13 times. You know, that just locally, and there's things happening around the world. This is just local news. There is something that's going on in the minds of many people. That shooter was somebody's son. The victim was somebody's son or daughter. The victims of those who were shot were somebody's relative or friend or family member. There are people who need ways to manage things that are going on in their life other than lashing out against somebody. So what we're doing is critical, it's valuable, and it's valuable when you share the message beyond what I have shared. That makes it even more powerful because it's going to touch some lives of people who are impacted by things. Possibly some of you who are listening now have been impacted by something that has affected your life since the last time that we were together. So we're in a series where we're talking about what to do, crisis intervention, ways to expand that concept of screaming. And last week we talked about the C, which represents being creative, unleashing your imagination. Did you try that? Did you try something different to unleash that area of imagination so that that realm of creativity can grow and you're able to better manage a difficult situation? Did you have a conversation with anybody about it? Hopefully that you did. And it's okay if you want to share that, post your comment. Your comment might be more to some than even me talking about it. Just the way you phrase it might be just what somebody else needs to hear. So hopefully you're able to use some of that. I want to begin, as we always do, with our moments of relaxing and breathing. And over the past months, I've given several techniques for relaxing and breathing. We've box breathing, guided imagery, walking, talked about a lot of things. But I realized something just recently, that there may be something that's interfering with some of your abilities to be able to relax and breathe. So this time, I want to give you some indicators of what might be interfering with your ability to relax and breathe. And I'm going to tell it to you by means of a story that was in the news this morning. And if any of you know me personally, you know this touched me very personally. There was a woman in the news who called 911 because she had brought a snake into her home, and the snake, which was a boa constrictor, had wrapped around her neck and was biting her face. And they called 911. This is in the news right now, national news. And they're calling, and so eventually they came. What they had to end up doing was cutting the snake's head off. And the head of the snake, they said the teeth was still embedded into the woman's face. I said, great day. So what does that have to do with relaxing and breathing? Well, I'll tell you. Many of us have taken in, and by the way, this lady had taken in several other snakes, she said, as well as this one as a rescue. Many of us have taken in things that's choking the breath right out of us and making it difficult for us to relax and breathe. 3 areas: people, places, and things. Number 1, consider if there are some things that you are involved in that makes it difficult for you to relax and breathe. Do you have habits that makes it difficult for you to relax and breathe, that after you do this thing, whatever it is, you feel less than energized and not tired in a good way, tired where you are almost overwhelmed with exhaustion? Are you involved in those kinds of things? Are you having habits that's choking the life right out of you and your ability to relax and enjoy things? Whether it's a habit of gambling too much, whether it's a habit of eating too much, whether it's a habit of being overly connected with things as opposed to people. Are there things that you're doing that's choking the life right out of you, making it difficult for you to relax and breathe? Number two, are there places that you're going that makes it difficult for you to relax? What about the people who go to jobs and every time they think about going, let me go to this job again and deal with, what? Are there jobs that you're going to? Are there places that you're going that you may have been going to people's houses? Oh man, do we have to go visit so-and-so again? Are there places that you go that's actually making it difficult for you to relax and breathe and choking the life right out of you? Remember, this lady brought this snake into our home. Some of us have brought snake-like things into our life and it's choking the life out of us. So when it's time, or I suggest relaxing and breathing, you can't hardly do it because of the things you're involved in, the places that you go. And last, the people that you have connected with. Are there people that's choking the life out of you? And there are people, I won't give them a name, but I'll describe their behavior. They feed on negativity. They feed on negative things that's happening when it's going on in your life. So you can post things, and that's another thing that people do that makes it difficult for their life. They post their personal affairs. And when you post your personal affairs, you make it available for other people to stick their nose into your business. So anyway, let's deal with the people. There's some people that when you're putting out comments about positive things that's happening or things going well, you can't get a peep out of them. They may or may not say anything at all. But the minute that you say something like, please pray for my family or something, they pop out of nowhere. Oh, tell me what happened, right? And it's not that they're so interested in offering relief or support. They're just feeding on the negativity of what's not going well and what's not going right. You can tell these type of individuals because their conversation is usually about what somebody else is not doing, who they don't like, and that sort of thing. It's always on that kind of thing. And a friend of mine actually shared with me the comment about people who, when you tell them, they ask questions about how things are going, and they ask it in such a way that they're expecting something negative to come from that. Say, like, so how's your father, or how's your family's health, or how's your relationship going, And it's almost as if they're waiting. And when you tell them things are going well, I'm doing good, it's almost as if they're disappointed with your positive response and comment about that. Beware. People, places, and things. Assess that so that you're in a position. Make sure that you haven't brought boa constrictors into your life that's choking your ability to relax and breathe. Whew. We needed to spend a little time with that. Now let's go to the next part of how to scream effectively using the R. And we had a friend, a viewer from St. Louis that had some great suggestions or ideas of what it might be. But what it is about reaching out to help someone. When you're going through something, when you're having a particular challenge, it makes you want to scream and throw up your hands and holler. Sometimes just the act of helping somebody else out will allow you to feel a measure of relief yourself. And I don't mean, because some of you I know are in the field of healthcare and taking care of others, so that's your job. I'm not talking about when you just do your job, which can be rewarding, but I'm talking about when you give from a heart place, not giving as some people do and keeping account so they can recollect what they've done for you. So they know I've given you 5 dinners and 4 outfits and 3 rings and 2 shows I've taken you to and a partridge in a pear tree, So they've got all these things that they've listed that they've given you so that at some point they can call on that debt. That's not the kind of reaching out I'm talking about. I'm talking about reaching out to people who you expect nothing back from, just to be able to help. Just the act of doing that can be powerful. Let me tell you about another friend who was sharing a story with me. And I asked her just recently, I said, is it okay if I share your story? She said, yes, absolutely. Don't want to give her name. If she chimes in, she can tell you who she is. She and her husband were having some financial difficulties, pretty serious from what she explained to me. And she said, right in the height of that, as they were dealing with it, she said she had another close friend who needed to go to a doctor's appointment and was possibly going to have some surgery or something, but she needed to go. She said she got up and she went to support her. After she came back from the appointment, she had a check for over $4,000 waiting for her when she returned. Now, I'm not saying that the check would not have been there if she hadn't gone, or her going made the check be there, but a couple of things happened. By her going, she no longer focused on what wasn't going well in her life because she was interested in doing something for someone else. The act of reaching out has a healing effect on us because we are interconnected. So if you have that experience where you're going through something, think about maybe there's something I can do to help somebody else without expecting anything back. And watch the relief that will come for you from that act. The other side of that is that you have to be able to receive. So it's possible that there are people who are reaching out for you. They're trying to help you. You have a situation that's going on right now that's causing you frustration, makes you want to throw up your hands and holler, and you don't know exactly what to do. And it might be somebody close by that's saying, hey, would you like to get together? Or I have some idea. Are you open to receive support when other people are trying to reach out for you? So it's not just about reaching out, but it's about being open to be able to receive as well. Much more we can talk about that. I'm just touch on this very briefly. Another part of the R has to do with releasing people, places, and things that are negative in your experience, to be able to let them go. And as many have said to me, letting them go doesn't mean going back and picking them up after you've let them go for a while. Letting them go and releasing those things that you know are not for your best interest. It's possible that you have attached and you're holding on to some things that's not for your best good. Release. Reach out and help someone else. Be open to receive possibilities and options and opportunities for your own growth and wellness and management through a difficult situation. So, that being said, there's more to that. In my full workshop, you get the whole thing. So this is just a snippet of this. So I encourage you to look for an opportunity to reach out and help someone. You don't have to have a lot of money. This is not about money. This is about reaching out to help somebody, volunteering your kindness, volunteering your goodness, whatever that means. Reaching out to extend a hand, opening the door for somebody, smiling, saying thank you. Look for an opportunity to reach out and help someone, and then assess how that feels inside. How that feels inside once you've reached out. Look for that opportunity. Create the opportunity instead of waiting for it to evolve. Think for a moment, what can I do to reach out to someone who may be in need and not showing it because they've got a mask on? Secondly, consider the possibility of what life would be like if you were open to receive things that are available to you. Information, resources, new tools. Consider the possibility of what life would be like if you had a situation that's causing you stress and you was able to get a little relief. How would that feel? Consider the possibility of having relief from a painful experience that you're having right now. Just enough relief to just breathe just a little bit. Lastly, expect and experience the miracles that will expand in your life as you become more conscious of your decisions and mindful of your moments. Share this message. I gave you statistics this morning, a few minutes ago, about 20-some people being, a couple of dozen being shot in Chicago. There's instances of things that have happened around the world, whatever state you're in, whether you're in Oklahoma or Georgia or St. Louis or California or Baltimore, Maryland, wherever you are, there are things happening around you. Share this message in your own words with someone. Share the video if you think that might be helpful. But most importantly, thank you for taking your time to spend with us in this mindful community today. And as always, I wish your travels be well and that you travel with respect. Our next time, let's see, SCRE is the E. Wait till you hear what the E is. It's a good one. See you next time. Respect.